Whoa, 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 whoa. Test, test, test. All right. We should be good. We should be good. Let's make sure the audio's working. Can I get a one in the chat if I sound good? If we sound good, we're a little bit glitchy here, but it'll settle in, and we'll get this thing rolling. I did my mic test and it was acting weird, so I may have to do it again. But let's make sure. Let's make sure. I want to start the stream kind of on time here. I've been sitting backstage for like 10 minutes trying to get this mic thing to sound right. So I was like, let me just start it. Let's see what the people think. If it sounds crazy, we'll reload in. By the way, so just put a one if I sound good, and then we'll get to it. And this is my post game reaction show. We don't really do these ever, not like this at least. I've done my rewatch now on this game. I kind of skim through it versus like when I usually do it afterward. And I really like dive into it. I kind of skimmed through it, but I went through every single play, as y'all can see from this game. Took notes on each play. Start a couple that I wanted to come back and look at. Vince, you got a one. Okay, we sound good. All right, sick. So I start a couple plays. I'll try to show those plays, but the issue is I'm gonna get copyrighted if I actually show the play. So I'm gonna try to get to the spot and then like drag the thing. That way it doesn't just play the play. Hopefully that works. I don't know if it's gonna work. Last week I got copyrighted for it, so I'm gonna try to avoid it. Don't want to get in trouble with the NFL, but I do want to show some of these plays. So we're gonna go condensed version and see how that works, and we'll scroll around to just a couple of the key plays. But I also just took notes, and we could just talk through the biggest thing that stood out. Also, one thing that I realized today, and look, if this is my fault, if this is the reason we lost, I apologize. I'll take the L in this one. I went to put my phone in my pocket, and I was like, yo, where's my pocket? My pocket's gone. Turns out I got my shorts on backwards. So, hey, look, if I threw up everything today because I'm wearing, if that's on me, that's on me. I'll take the L for that one. You know what I'm saying? Because I was watching a game with my shorts on backwards. It's crazy. But I was like, yo, how did I lose my pocket? I found it. It's right here. Anyways, we're going to dive into this, man. The shorts was on backwards. Ken, I was like, bro, where'd my pocket go, dog? Man, that thing. Anyway, there was a lot of things to take away, I think, from this one. And, okay. It's crazy, dog. It was a big time. It was a big type of discovery when I found that. But no. So, okay, here's how this always goes. Y'all know I don't like doing I like doing the instant reactions or the initial reactions, but my initial reactions are always after I watch it back. It's never like I do the initial reactions and I just post it. I usually watch the game back, then I do it like on Monday. Because for me, I really struggle to just do a video off of what I just saw because I really struggle with what I actually saw. Like, I think I know what I saw, but I remember things poorly. And then when I go back, I'm like, ooh, that's not what happened at all. Or I thought this guy messed something up. And then I'm like, ooh, that's actually not what happened there. That was actually this guy, or this guy made the good play. So I like to watch it back. And it helps me because I feel like then when I can watch it back, I can really kind of calm it down. And that's why I'm going to show some plays to you guys today. Maybe I can kind of settle some nerves and really try to point out some of the good, some of the bad. Because I listened to the post-game presser, and if you guys listened to it as well, you guys probably had I don't know, maybe you had a similar thought that I did. I don't know. When I heard it, and when Dan Campbell talked about doubling them up on yards, and then he said, he wanted to improve, and they did today, a big part of me was like, what's this dude talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. And I think it's the way the game ended, which left such a sour taste in my mouth because it just ended so poorly that everything felt terrible in that game. So when I rewatched it, as always, not as bad as you think it is. Also not as good in certain spots too, but definitely not as bad as you think it is in the case of this game. There's actually a lot of good. And the weird thing is when I got done watching it back after hearing the presser, I believed more of what they were saying than what my initial gut reaction was. It was like, yeah, this offense actually was moving the ball pretty well. We really did just kind of stall out, and we had a couple key plays. Goff had there's 3 plays I think I'm going to show of Goff today that I really didn't like from watching it back. From initial reaction, I thought hurt us. Obviously, the interception is going to be one of those. That one's kind of, I don't want to say it's self-explanatory because it's really not explanatory, but there was that play. That's the one that's obvious. That was a disaster. But there were 2 other plays that I didn't like. We'll show those as long as I can find them on here. But I also want to show some good because, like I said, it's kind of, they always say overreaction Monday. Well, we're on Sunday, so we're not going to overreact today. We're gonna take this for what it was and what actually took place in this game, from what we're able to tell by looking at just the broadcast view of this one. Before we get into some of the clips, though, a couple of just the notes that I grabbed when kind of watching this back. First off, defensively, really good game defensively. Couple things that we gave up, but for the most part, really sound defensively. I love the fact that on third down, we were able to go cover one defensively. I thought that was awesome, to be honest with you, to go man coverage on third down against these weapons and be able to just get pressure on Baker Mayfield constantly. This was the second straight week. Now, last week, LA Rams O-line was banged up. This week, a little bit banged up for the Buccaneers, plus just not the best offensive line in general. And man, we were able to do that. We had a ton of success when we just went straight cover one. We got after the quarterback. We got Baker in trouble, and he made a couple plays off script. But I think one of the things that was the most consistent from initial thought to rewatching was Baker Mayfield off script was the biggest problem for us. Outside of that, really well defensively. Gave up a big touchdown, gave up the one on the cover three beater. They ran the fake screen, gave up the wheel route. Outside of that, really happy with how the defense played across the board. First off, let's talk the numbers here. And we're going to get to the offense, of course. We're definitely going to dive into the offense. I've got a lot of clips to show for that one. But numbers-wise, let me make sure I got the correct stats. Buck Irving, 7 carries for 22 yards. Rachaad White, 10 carries, 18 yards. K. Dotton had like the little flip back. So between those two guys, they had 40 yards rushing on 17 carries. That's what the Lions' run defense did today. That was incredible. I mean, that was incredible. And DJ Reader, you don't really feel his impact when you're watching it live. You feel it when you watch it back. A lot of the zone plays that were forced into cutbacks, DJ Reader is manhandling his guy one-on-one. And there was a play in here, I think it was a run play where he just dumps the center. Mekhi Wingo also dumped an interior offensive lineman on a pass rush, which was cool to see. He just ran I think it was their center. He just ran the dude over. But yeah, DJ Reader played today. He made an impact against the run. Reader's probably going to struggle to consistently make a huge impact unless he makes a play on like a play action play because he comes off the field on pass downs. But run defense, the numbers kind of bear it out. We were incredible there. That was awesome to lean on that. And that's why I think defensively we did so well. Baker had 12 completions in this game. Now he had the big chunk play and he did some things off script, which just created beyond what we were in. But outside of that, defense I was super pleased with in so many different ways. I think this is the second straight good game that they put together. Considering this offense is well-oiled, Jalen McMillan's a big part of the offense. Considering there was a defensive pass interference in the beginning of the game, which set them up to go score a touchdown, but the defense stood strong. Brian Branch, run stop, pass break up in the end zone. Like, this was an awesome performance for the defense. I love where we're going right now defensively. The front seven is playing at a really high level. Jack Campbell really made an impact in the run game multiple times. Alex did Alex things. Levi, I think it was pointed out in chat, Levi did some work, got some pressure. Lee McNeil definitely was noted for some pressure from me. Hutchinson just went crazy in this game. But really, everybody got involved on defensive line. The linebackers played well. Derek Barnes was impactful. They got behind him one time on an RPO. The other one, he batted down at the line, but got us back onto the field. He was impactful and also in the mix a lot in this game. In the back end, while there's some hit and miss, specifically Terrion, Carlton I thought was good. I thought it was a plus game from initial rewatch, even though I can't say everything. And Amik Robertson had a beautiful pass break up on the sideline when they tried to go to Godwin. So I'm really optimistic. Brian Branch had a beautiful interception. You know, he was playing the robber role, kind of just lurked it, picked it off from underneath. Really optimistic about the defense. Really love where they're trending. And I think right now what they have is something that's going to be very sustainable. And it was last year. It is great run defense as well as really good defensive line play. Those two things are sustainable. Most teams don't have 5 really good offensive linemen, so there's always someone you could try to pick on. And to me, the Lions are going to be very difficult for teams to deal with because of those two facts that they're not going to let teams run all over them. And DJ Reader's impact was very much so felt in this game. So those are the first things on defense. Now, let me flip it. We'll flip it, and then we'll talk about the offense, or I don't want to flip it, but let's talk about some other of these keynotes. Then we'll get into some of these plays here. Chat, did the Chiefs win? The Chiefs win? I wonder if Monty was hurt. So, couple real quick notes, though. If you didn't see the post-game thing, St. Brown, sounds like they think he's dealing with cramps. Dan Campbell said doesn't sound like it's going to be long-term. I don't know what that means, though. We'll have to see. We'll figure out probably Monday, kind of on availability for next week. And then Rakestraw, he said pregame had a little bit of a hamstring injury, and that's why he ended up getting on the list. It wasn't just a healthy scratch. He actually, I guess, had a hamstring injury pregame, so we'll see what that's going to turn into as well. A couple other, though, the keynotes. Make sure I'm this. Oh, first offensively, the counter pulls were a disaster. We had a couple of negatives in the run game, not a ton, but I believe 2 of them were on counter run plays where basically you take an offensive lineman, you pull him across the formation, running back steps, false step to opposite side, then you work back the other way. We ran that a couple of times, and 2 of those plays, negative plays, backside, blew them up for tackles for loss, got us behind the chains. Those 2 plays were a nightmare, so I'm kind of glad we got away from those, but they hurt us every time we seemingly ran it. That was a problem. Second thing, kind of what LA did, we're going to get blitzed in our play action sets. That doesn't mean it was a disaster on play action sets, but their teams are trying to make us uncomfortable in those spots. Second and short, first and 10, teams are trying to blitz us on play action shots. I expect most teams to now try to do this, kind of follow this strategy when they play us. They want to make us uncomfortable. We've still done pretty well in those spots, but occasionally a defense will get a positive play. I thought Goff actually did pretty well when he was under pressure in play action spots, but also I just expect that that's something going forward we're going to have to deal with is teams are going to bring extra bodies every time we go play action because, again, occasionally you might be able to create a negative against us rather than at very worst it's a check down for 5 yards, right? You had the one play today where Goff takes the hit and he kind of throws it. It's almost an interception. Jordan Whitehead got his hands under it, kind of didn't come up with it. It was well underthrown. That's the kind of thing I think teams are going to be looking for is can we create that even once when they try to go play action? And teams may just look for it and say, we're going to blitz as soon as they go to that. So some of the lines will have to be prepared for. I think everybody's going to kind of use that stuff against us just because it seemingly kind of shakes it up just a little bit for them. And then defensively or offensively, Dan Campbell talked about at the end of the game, Tampa Bay ran a lot of their cover 3 and they were playing the flats really hard. So they're getting out really wide in the flats and they were buzzing down, which specifically happened towards the end of the game. They started buzzing safeties and they weren't even that unpredictable. They were buzzing their safety underneath into the hook curl zone and they were playing the flats and they were playing the flats really wide. So they were forcing us to kind of squeeze it into the underneath between the linebacker and the edge rusher into the flat or the safety and the edge rusher rather than being able to just get to the sideline. They're making it difficult for us to go underneath in those spots. So everything kind of had to be like, oh, you got to get it over this guy, or you got to try to like create space so you could just work one-on-one with the cornerback. So that was something that Dan Campbell touched on. Didn't know exactly what he was talking about, but I saw it at the end of the game, and we'll show some plays on that. All right, with all that being said, let's dive into it. If more things pop up, I'll show them or I'll talk about them. But yeah, all that being said, let's dive in. I don't want y'all to miss Sunday Night Football, man. So let's dive into some of the key plays from this one. Again, I'm going to kind of have to try to like not show them, but also like show them just so I don't get copyrighted. NFL, you don't have to do this. You know what I mean? Hey, we're just having a good time. We're just having some takeaways. That's it. You know what I mean? Hey, this is NFL. This is not overreaction day. We're chill. We're having a good time. We're having a good discussion. That's it. That's it. All right, here we go. I try to save a lot of the key plays. I didn't save every play here. There was actually a lot of good to start the game offensively in this game, which makes it even more disappointing. Just let the boys grind tape. Facts. Let the boys grind some tape, man. The first drive we had, which actually cut off on the NFL replay, was the big shot play to Jameson Williams. Then we had a throwaway, then a 7-yard run, then the incomplete one to Jameson Williams on the out route. So we had that. Oh, copyright gonna hit me. King, copyright gonna hit me. I'm gonna try. I'm going to fail. I'm prepared for the failure here. All right, let's skip way ahead. I want to go to 1:08 left in the first quarter and just bounce. If there's a play that y'all want me to show, let me know. I'll show it. Oh boy, this is going to be a handful. Okay. I can already tell this is going to be a disaster. All right. Wait. Chat. Okay, so here we go. Gonna be a disaster, dog. All right, first off, here we go. One of the positives. So again, offensively, we actually played really well, early we played really well. And this is where, when I was watching it back and Goff said that he felt like he was in a good rhythm, I'll be honest, I was like, what is he talking about? I didn't feel like there was ever a great rhythm, just from the vibe that I had when it was going on live. And I think a lot of that stemmed from the first play was an interception. Now, again, I don't have a big issue with the interception. We can be upset about it. It is what it is, right? We threw a slant, or not a slant. It was like a deeper slant. But he tried to hit the window. Jahmyr Gibbs was open on the play, but I'm not mad at the anticipation. They went cover 3. I could show you it. Throws it to the window. Guy grabs him. Zion McCollum's playing off, so Goff tries to throw it in front of him. He hangs all over him. It's picked off. Whatever. That's a bad start, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, that makes you terrible because you threw that. Like, no, I'm going to be realistic. It doesn't. But it definitely puts a bad taste in your mouth of the fan because immediately you're like, oh, there's a pick on the first play of the game. This is a disaster. Again, shout out to defense. They held him to a field goal, got a 3 and out. But I think for me at least, it clouded my vision of how the beginning of the game actually went because offensively, we actually did move the ball pretty well. And up until really through halftime, I got back through the rewatch and was like, how do we not have more points than this? We had like 460 yards of offense, and passing the football was actually really successful in this one. So here, 2nd and 6 look, and we also had more success on early downs. All right, we're going to see what we can do. It's a disaster. It looks like they're going into seemingly kind of like a I don't want to say cover 6. I think this might be one of their inverted cover 2. It's either the inverted cover 2 or the cover 6. But they have a high-low here on the bottom of the screen. And this was one of my favorite early throws of the game from Goff. You can see him right here. He's going to go behind the underneath cornerback, and he's going to go over top right in front of the safety. Hits this corner route for Amon-Ra St. Brown right there. Bam. That was one of the early plays that they had. I thought it was one of the better throws of the game, to be honest with you. That's early in the game, we had that. Then he came back. He hit St. Brown. Then he came back and hit Jahmyr Gibbs. So let's go to the Jahmyr Gibbs play because this is another one that I really liked. Let's go. Is this it? That's St. Brown. And then we come back to Jahmyr Gibbs. So here we come back after. I'll pause it right here. Then we come back here. Now, on this play, defensively, again, they were going into what looked like cover 3. And one thing, like I said, what Dan Campbell talked about, they were playing the flats very, very hard on the play. But also, look at where their linebackers are. This is something you have to keep in mind. Because when you watch it back, if you're wondering why so many passes were kind of in this area, this is why. They're playing cover 3, and you can see where their backers are, how much depth they actually are playing with. This is what Tampa does. What does that leave open? This guy. And we kind of talked about this coming in, like, yo, checkdowns, they're going to be there for him. And I actually think that it helped because I think for Goff, after last week, after not throwing multiple checkdowns, this game he was willing to throw the check down. But when you get a look like this, they're playing with this kind of depth. Goff does the smart thing, flips it out. You get it out here to Jahmyr Gibbs. He picks up 4 yards, picked up the first down. So, again, positive early downs, good decisions, ball out of the hands, and stuff like this. This was good decisions early in the game, and that led to a first down. But then we come back with a couple of negatives, man, and things just went wrong right here. I'm going to show you right away where it goes wrong, because, again, we had to set up for a field goal on this drive. They don't actually have the first field goal drive, so I can't show anything there. But we have this first drive right here, and as you can see, I'm not going to show it, but you can see what's happening. You see what's happening? Yeah, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka is unblocked here. Why? Lions tried to go zone. They were trying to stretch outside, and Sam Laporta, blown block here, negative run. So that's the first thing. This was more prevalent, I think, as the game got later on, was very noticeable. But early in the game, what stalled us out was very similar. We get inside the 20, first down play is a negative play. We're no longer playing on top of the chains like we had been. Then my second least favorite throw from Goff outside of the interception. This was one of the 3 throws that I circled. I was like, I don't like this from Goff. This was one of them. This was to me one of his, and there was a lot of good in here. This was to me one of his worst throws. This was cover 4 blitz on the play. So they're playing this quarters coverage. They're going to have one less underneath defender. So they're really giving you the flats, and the Lions are going to run this out route with J-Mo. What I liked with Goff, I thought better this week from watching it back only one time, but having watched it back, his eyes were way less staring the same guy down the entire play, and he was throwing with a lot of anticipation. That's why the first play got intercepted, because he threw it with anticipation. That being said, it wasn't all perfect because of that, but he did throw with a lot of anticipation. Look at this throw right here. It's a 2nd and 10. If he makes this throw, I don't know that we score a touchdown, but there's a much better chance we score a touchdown than what happens here. They blitz. Look at when he's throwing this football versus where J-Mo's at. The ball is out of his hands. He's throwing with a ton of anticipation. They're in quarters coverage, so he doesn't have an underneath threat, so he's going to fire the out route. J-Mo has not broke his route yet, and the ball is out. Maybe he needs to get out of his route break faster. Maybe Goff needs to throw the ball in a better spot because he can't really lob it, or maybe he just needs to wait a little bit longer. But regardless, he lets this thing go very early on the play, and you're going to see it lands in front of Jameis. See, the ball's already out. J-Mo is just out turning the corner to find it, and you could see the ball's up here. J-Mo goes to the 6, and it's incomplete. It's just in front of him. It's almost like he was too early on that play. Now, we still could have made up for this, but the problem is the very next play, and this should have been a sign of things to come. The screens were a disaster. 3rd down and 10. Lions run a running back screen. Can y'all guess what's going to happen here? And give credit to Joe. Frank Ragnow is not going to block Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. And we're going to go from a screen where, look, again, what did I just point out? Look at the depth from their backers. It's not a bad strategy to say, hey, we're going to go underneath of him. We're going to throw a screen. We just need to pick up some blocks. He's going to have room to get going. These screens never got going because at the line of scrimmage, we weren't picking up blocks. There was a play I'll show later where we didn't block the guy. Frank Ragnow didn't even find him. He just blocked the same dude as the other offensive lineman, and the guy was unblocked, got his tackle. This time, he does kind of block Joe. But it's not a great block. Levante David ends up getting into the tackle with Joe on the play. And as you can see here, he loses this block. David comes down, makes the tackle. Gibbs gets no gain on the play. So that's how the first drive stalls out. Poor run, this blocked by Laporta, missed throw from Goff because he threw it very early, and then a blown up screen. This is the kind of thing that came back to bite us later in the game. But the problem with this is this is really what the problem was holistically. I think someone said in the chat, I didn't realize we had 460 yards of offense. I didn't realize that. Goff threw the ball 55 times. We didn't get into the end zone. And I think overall, if you're not going to get into the end zone and you're going to play the we're going to take the points game, you better get your points. And I think that's why Dan Campbell, it's not that Dan Campbell is looking at this saying like we were perfect outside of what I did. I think it's Dan Campbell saying this. I came in willing to take the points, right? I took the field goal early. We took the points. We can't then leave points on the field because we're not making up for the points because we're not going for it on 4th down and 2. We're taking the field goal. So the issue is when you leave 3 points before half and then Goff comes back and throws a pick when you could potentially score, you left 6 points on the board and you were willing to take the points. If you're going to take the points, you got to take the points every time. You can't leave them out there. And obviously we left them out there. That was the easy difference in the game. But this is the first drive. Boom, that happens. 400 yards with all these miscues. And that's the crazy thing because it really was just a lot of little things, but this is your first drive. Let me continue through, and we'll show some offense and defense here. We'll kind of go back and forth. I want to show good on both sides. Let's go to 8:24 in the second quarter. We'll stay on the offense side of the ball. I don't need to show this play again. I don't think the touchdown play they had. This was the best drive that they had. They run the fake screen. Amik Robertson, who's playing the flat, drives down. Terrion plays the post. And then, of course, they go to the wheel route, and he scores a touchdown. So I don't think I need to show that one again. I mean, we saw that live. It was just a scheme beater. It's a good play by the offense. They got us on that play. That happens. We do that to teams too. It happens. This is the next one I want to show. So this would have been 8. Actually, was this the right spot? Nope, I skipped one. Let me go back. I don't want to skip one. I skipped one from the defense. We got a 9:24 play. Play right before this, I think. Let me go to that first. Is this the play? Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong quarter. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong quarter. Okay, my bad, chat. I got terrible handwriting. I'm looking at the wrong quarter. All right, no. Let's go back to the offense. We're on the right spot. Okay, here we go. So, 2nd down 12, which was set up by, what did I say at the beginning? I didn't show the play, but I just said at the beginning, right? What was a disaster for the Lions running the football? This. Counter pulls were a disaster. And you know what it made me remember? And it's unfortunate because this happened last year, and we let it happen again. If you guys remember from last year, the counter pulls that we ran week 1, or not week 1, the first time we played Tampa, we had no run game, tackles for loss, backside, and we were like, yo, we need more juice. We got to give this to Gibbs because we can't get out of the backfield. And in this game, twice we did this, and backside Jordan Whitehead, Yaya Diaby, blowing up plays in the backfield, not even allowing the thing to get started, and that puts us behind. But here on a cover 6 play, this was also just a credit to their coverage pieces. Goff throws it out there, puts a one-on-one to St. Brown. Jamel Dean breaks on the football, makes a play on the football, right? They made a good play. Good for them. They made a good play there. But then we go to the next play. So now we're behind the chains because of the darn whatever it's called, right? You go to the next play, and here we're going to get a cover 4 look. So, again, cover 4, nobody underneath. You're going to go to this deep out route. Tim Patrick gets a look here. We go deep out route to Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick does not get his feet in bounds. I actually really like the ball placement. I thought watching it live, the ball was off. I actually really like the ball placement. You can see here on the replay. I really like this ball placement. I have no issue with this. He just doesn't get his 2 feet down. He got 1 down, does not drag his foot. You got to drag your foot, dude. It's a 3rd down and 12. Goff throws a pass. I think he threw a beautiful pass here. Watching this live, I thought maybe he missed this outside. I watch it back. I'm like, no, this is actually a really good throw. He just didn't get his feet down. Like, dude, you got to get your feet down. Watch this ball here. You got to get your feet down. You got to get your feet down, bro. It's just simple as that. He put the ball on him, 3rd and 12, attack McCollum, new receiver, beautiful throw, doesn't get his feet down. So you go for a drive that negative play on the run, pass break up to Saint, beautiful throw by Goff that's dropped. That's it, right? So that's how that drive stalls up. Exactly. That's why I came in like thinking, oh, he missed that. I don't think he missed that. There's not much more I could have wanted from that kind of throw. So, again, he said that he felt that he was in a rhythm. And I was like, what is Goff talking about? It didn't look like he was ever in a rhythm. I think it's things like this. And it's the missed pass to Jable because he felt incredibly decisive, where it was like, he's throwing this thing with big time anticipation. I think that's why he felt that he was in a rhythm, because his eyes weren't as stubborn as they were last week, where he was just staring one guy down a couple times and you're like, what the heck's going on here? This is not Goff. I know I'm better than this. The timing is jacked up. This week it was much better. He was moving his eyes. He was firing it with anticipation. He was ripping some of these throws. We just didn't make the play there. But as I said, there's 3 that I didn't like. I already showed 1. I got 2 more on the way. Let's go back to... So then we did the fake punt. We kept this drive alive. And let's go to the next offensive play. This was a nice fake punt. Shout out to Sione Vaki doing work there. Skip ahead a little bit. This was the play to Amon-Ra St. Brown. This was the play to St. Brown. Yes. Okay, let me run this one back. Sorry, let me go back a little bit here. I'm trying not to get copyrighted for this, but I don't know if I'm going to have any luck. Right, here's the play. I just got to move it back a little bit. Just back up, dude. All right. Here. just back up, dude. All right. This one. Now, when I'm watching this, right, and I'm thinking, okay, he's got to be staring the receiver down, right? Because you're watching this live. You see Jordan Whitehead. Again, give credit to the players. They made some just big-time plays. I'm watching this live. I'm thinking, Jordan Whitehead, Goff probably stared this route down. He probably just jumped the route because of that. I'm going to show you this play. You tell me if it looks like Goff stared this thing down. I think we just sometimes have to give credit to, hey, I'm gonna remove it and then unpause it when it's back on the screen. That way I don't get copyrighted here. All right, here we go. So you see his eyes, right? Middle field, he's looking middle field safety. He's looking left. Pressure comes. There's the blown block. Flips his eyes last second, rips it to St. Brown, and Jordan Whitehead breaks up on the pass. Good play by Jordan Whitehead. He read the route concept, not the eyes, broke on the pass. Good job by Jordan Whitehead. Again, potentially catchable, but that's more so just of a great play by the defensive back, reading the scheme, that kind of thing, being prepared for it. Whitehead is just a dog every time he comes downhill. But again, I thought watching it live, he just stared the thing down. Couple of passes like that I thought live, and he wasn't, which I do appreciate. But again, it's more credit to the defensive player for me than anything here. So that drive, then we had a Monty for 7 yards, and then we had a pass breakup to St. Brown once again. We ran the wheel route, which was Amon-Ra St. Brown on Jamel Dean. St. Brown doesn't get open. It's incomplete, and the Lions decide to go for it on 4th down, and they end up picking up the 1st down. They go for it on 4th down. They pick up the 1st down behind David Montgomery. Continuing then with their next drive. Let me make sure I don't miss anything here. Where are we at on the play? Where are we at on the clock? 5:14. Okay, so right here. So this drive continued to go because, we actually did a pretty nice job. We kept this drive alive here. Let me go forward to 5:14. Here, I think it's this one. Nope, it's not that one. That was the near interception, I think. But I'm trying to go to 5:14. All right, 5:14. Let me remove it from the screen real quick, and then I'll show it back on the screen. That way, you guys, it doesn't get hopefully it doesn't get copyrighted. I don't know. I just got to pause it at the right spot. That way you guys can see what's actually happening. Okay. So this is a 3rd down and 6. And on a play like this, if I remember correctly, yep, I think the thing is here if this ball is caught, we don't get the 1st down, but what we do is we give ourselves a chance to at least go for it, right? Like if Dan Campbell's going to be aggressive in a spot like this, maybe he kicks a long field goal. Maybe he even tries a long field goal. I don't know. But this gives you a chance if you want to say, let's be aggressive and go for it, you can do so. So you see defensively what they're doing here. They go cover 3 defensively. They're going to roll this safety down from a safety alignment right here. He's going to buzz down. So like we said, what was Dan Campbell talking about? Buzzing safeties. It's this. He's playing in the hook curl zone. You're racing to the flats. So they were taken away and being stubborn against the flats here. So Goff sees the rolling safety, fires the quick hitch route. Now, that being said, I don't have an issue with this read. It's definitely going to be short of the 1st down. But that being said, if he catches this pass, even if he stopped right away, he's got about 4 yards. Lions are then in 4th and 2, which, if you look at it, on the same drive, on 4th and 2, they went forward and picked up a 1st down. You would then have another 4th and 2. However, on this play, he doesn't catch it. Now it's 4th and 6. He basically fumbled the football. That one could have been called a fumble. So he kind of did catch it, but then he fumbled the football, but it was called incomplete. But at least then we would have the decision to say either we're going for it or we're taking a 62-yard field goal. I don't know that they would have done that, but indoors is capable, right? So at least then you put something on the table of making that decision, and you could see why he threw the pass that he did here based on everything else that was going around and based on the rolling safety at the snap, why he tried to put it right where the safety was going to be, because he was going to be late to the play. So again, I don't have an issue with that one very much. Defensively, Lions end up getting the stop here, but I want to get the play. They end up coming up with an interception on their next possession on the field, and it was set up by a cover one sack by Josh Pascal, and then on 3rd and 7, it was an interception by Brian Branch. And I want to give Brian Branch some love. So, oh, we don't have the play. I didn't mark where the play was. Well, you guys know how that one ended. Okay, I don't think I even need to show you how that one ended. This was just Brian Branch doing Brian Branch things. I mean, you could see it here. 3rd and 7, Brian Branch, he's lurking. Lions go man coverage. And like I said, I didn't like chart everyone to see exactly what result was on each cover one play, but the results in cover one defensively were really good for the Lions. They were really good. We were able to make them uncomfortable, and we were able to play really relatively solid coverage. So we were able to make good plays whenever we went to that spot, which is something that Ben Johnson can lean on. You remember last week we did some cover zero and stuff. Like, oh, we didn't do this last year against Rams. He did this game again, and he was able to lean on it, and it was able to be successful. Again, that'll work well, I think, when you get further down into the season because he's able to lean on stuff like that. Okay, this drive, right before half, we have to settle for a field goal. Again, I actually ended up liking this drive, to be honest with you. Let me see. So we had the batted pass there. That one was going to Laporta. Then it was over to a first down here to Tim Patrick. I believe Tim Patrick had the first down. I don't need to show all these plays. Then the outside zone. Then Goff scrambled for 2. Then a 3rd and 2. Little play I liked a lot from Ben Johnson where it was like kind of the rollout for Goff, and Goff ended up taking off for a first down, a 3rd down and 2. And anytime we were in like 3rd or 4th and manageable, it's a completely different game. That's why that 3rd down was so crucial that we dropped. But he ends up doing that. Then we come back and we end up having the field goal situation, right? We moved the ball down the field. The only one that we could have had was the shot that we took to the end zone. This was not a bad drive at all. We moved the ball pretty well. We were efficient. The only one would have been the shot we tried to take to JMO in the back of the end zone, which would have been tough because I believe they were in cover 4, which meant that the cornerback and safety were not really giving much of a window there for Goff to actually throw this football. And he tried to take this shot right here to Jamison Williams. I'm going to show it in a second. And right here, this was the play that we tried to hit right before half. We didn't come up with this one, as you can see. A little bit in front, super tight window there. If the ball hit his hands, I don't think he's catching that anyways. But we took the shot. It was a safe play because if you threw anything in bounds, we caught it. We were gonna just waste the time. Next play, we go underneath. We get in the field goal range. We just had the debacle before half, and we end up with not points. So 2 possessions into the red zone. We have the one where we stop. Whitehead drops out. It's incomplete. We have a complete disaster of a possession, which is 3 terrible plays, screen that does nothing, a missed pass, and then a poor run. And then we see this one where we just left 3 points on the board. We basically just left them out there. So, and then we had the defensive pass interference that wasn't called, interception. So our first half kind of went like that. We moved the ball. I really like the flow we were in offensively. We could show more of these plays, but overall, like those are just some of the key ones. I really like the flow that we were actually in offensively in the first half. Then we came out. Second half came out in a beautiful flow. You see it to get things started right here. Then we move forward. Amon-Ra St. Brown got us going right out of the second half. Cover 2 invert. Lions went right behind it with St. Brown. And we also, you can see it right here, they went right behind the defense. Boom. Right in front of the safety. They got that going. Then they had the flag, moved them forward. So they got in great field position there. Then they did the reverse play. But why did things stall out again? Let me see. Yeah, okay, here we go. I got the right play. So why did things stall out? Okay, here we go. Again, like I said, first down plays that were bad were killers. Here's the first one. Lions go out there. It's first down and 10, and they run a receiver screen. And this is the result that you get. Missed block by Laporta. No yards on the wide receiver screen. Okay, great. So that one doesn't help us. Next play, Lions go duo run, and I actually think they created a nice little run lane right here. They end up picking up like 3 yards. Should have been more yards than that, but they picked up 3 yards. And then you get to this 3rd and 6, which is the play that I want to focus on. Let me star that one. Here we go to, and we pick up 3 yards here. Pick up 3 yards here. Let me pause this at the right spot again, that way you guys can see what's happening, and I don't get copyrighted. 3rd and 6. They go cover 3. They're gonna drop. I thought they dropped 5 actually. Nope, just cover 3. They just dropped into cover 3. And we have the little check down to David Montgomery. They ended up just deciding to take a field goal. Looking at the wrong play. Cover 3. 3 yards. Okay, and here we go. So I'm going to show this play on the screen. Here's this. Watch the linebackers. You can see the depth that they're playing with here. right? So St. Brown crosses. He's going to go to Dave Montgomery. He's going to check this down. Don't want the flat here. That's not going to get there. So you're looking maybe Jameson over the middle of the field. Here's some pressure. Graham Glasgow starts to lose his block. What I liked here is that he didn't force this to St. I thought if this was last week, I think Goff would have forced this to St. Brown. Instead, he made a good decision. He saw St., got away from it, and just checked it down to Montgomery. We didn't get the first down, but he gave him a chance by not throwing it to St. Brown there. I think if we throw it to St. Brown, we don't get it. I mean, that could be picked off. Who knows? Like, that would have been a mess. So I did like that. Again, this week, he wasn't just forcing the first read. He's doing a nice job of like, okay, that's not there. I find the check down. And I think that's always the crucial thing is you have to feel like you're seeing growth. And I did feel like I saw growth. As little as it may be, if you feel like you're seeing growth and you can see growth and things getting better, as Dan Campbell said, improvement. I don't know if it was the same thing for him, but things like this is improvement to me, right? You don't like the flat. I don't know what's happening down here. I don't know if it's open or not. And then you had J-Mo on the dig route. Don't know if it got open or not. Maybe he was running a deep curl. I don't know. But he didn't like it. Linebackers are sitting on the sticks. So, again, the fact that he didn't throw it to Saint and he threw it to Monty late, I'm very cool with. We only get 3 there. We have to kick the field goal. But at least we're coming away with points. And it's not a missed field goal or something whack like that. So we come away with points. Let me continue forward. Defense gets back out there. Ali McNeil, Brian Branch create a negative on 2nd and 5, -1, 3rd and 6. Lions go cover 1 again. Defense comes up with a sack. They force a 3 and out. That's the Lions defense was pretty much doing that all game. I'll show you a replay of that one sort of here. So this was the play that set it all up. 2nd and 5. Watch the backside here and watch DJ Reader. So here's Reader, point of attack. They're going to go outside zone. Right here he goes. Yeah, that's what he was doing, living behind the line of scrimmage. And then on the backside, Ali McNeil absolutely blew up his block. There was no chance of reaching that one. He forces that. He missed a tackle, but then Brian Branch steps down. He makes a stop. They lose a yard on the play. So that's how we got them behind the chains. And then again on 3rd down, Aiden Hutchinson did Aiden Hutchinson things. This guy is playing like one of the best in football right now. He's just winning one-on-one, so you can't leave him one-on-one, which is beautiful. And he ended up getting the sack. All right, let's go back to the offense side. Offense gets back out there, and here's the first play. We got 9:33. Let's go to the first play. I got the first play on this drive circled. Let's see what it is. I want to see what this one is. 9:33. Cover 3 blitz, pass break up to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Also, Vaki was at receiver on one of these plays, which I did like. So I thought I'd point that out. Good pass pro by Gibbs. And, okay, again, watch this. So, again, watching this live, you're like, oh, that's almost an interception. That's not good. However, when you watch it back, you're like, I can see how this happened. Good play by the corner. Like, this is where, at time, again, you can give credit to the other team, too. They have good players. And this is good players making good plays. Because, again, this is not something that I have an issue with. Defense, watch them here. Right, cover 3, single high safety. They bring the blitz. Teams are going to blitz this on play action. I just kind of expect that going forward. Lions got to have an adjustment for it. Gibbs steps in, pass protects well. Then he's going to run this dig route, and he's going to throw it to Saint right here. Watch Goff's eyes. Watch his eyes. Looking left, plants, rips it. Didn't stare it down. Didn't give the cornerback a bite or tell. Simply Zion McCollum broke on the route, got in front of St. Brown when he was behind him, and he jumped the route, made a play. I don't have an issue with that one. You could see where he was looking off. Levante David, the depth that they play with. If he doesn't look left, Levante steps in his passing lane. It's not there. So he holds him left, throws next to him, passes jumped. Again, credit to the defense there. I don't have an issue with that. That's not one where I'm like fired up. What were you doing on that throw? Nope, he made a good play defensively. Just so happened that he broke it away. And, good play by them. I can live with that. They made a good play. That's all right. All right, we'll stay with it. 2nd and 10. This was kind of a weird one. Have we been freaking out? No, we're not freaking out about any of that because we're making sense of it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's here chilling, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We're having a good time. Hopefully. I don't know. My shorts are on the proper way now, so we're good there. But we'll go to it, 2nd and 10. And this is another cover 3 look. Again, doing a lot of cover 3 here. Actually, this may not have been cover 3. It may have been. Actually, it may have been cover 3 right here. This one was kind of weird. I can see why this happened. I watched it live. This one was kind of weird. Or not live. I watched this back. It was kind of weird. You could see the flat defender, again, aggressively playing the flat. So one thing the Lions were doing, we're running like these little shallow in routes. So you got the vertical, then the shallow in. Oh, here's Vaki playing receiver. I like that. Hey, more of that, please. I'm very fired up about that. But you could see, blown block here from Zeitler. So Goff really doesn't have a chance to kind of be like, I don't want to throw that. If he wants to flip his body completely around and go to Vaki here, maybe that's a possibility. He doesn't. So you get pressure in his face. Goff goes vertical, sees the flat. When you look at the defender's not looking at Goff because he's racing to play the flats aggressively. So, as Dan Campbell pointed out, this was the Lions' response to a team playing the flats aggressively. They wanted short in breaking routes, and they had one of these completed. But this is what the Lions' response was. I'm going to pause it at the right spot so you can see what I'm saying. Right here. This is the Lions' response. Tyke Smith is aggressively taking away the flats. So the Lions are running short in routes to try to break back in front of these routes. So Goff sees that. You can see with the missed blocking here by Zeitler, he's going to let this thing go. And the cornerback kind of does a nice job of stepping in front of the route. So St. Brown's kind of walled up on the play. Goff has now thrown it. That's why the pass is low is incomplete, because he can't get back to the ball because he was kind of walled up on the play. So that's what happened. So you have a good play by the defense on first down. Second down, I mean, honestly, a good play by the defense. I don't have an issue with that kind of like mindset if that's how we're going to beat that coverage. And then we have a third down here in 10, which was actually a first down. So the drive stayed alive. Jamison Williams kept it alive, run after catch, got it the first down. He moved the chains. We actually scored a touchdown on this drive. So this drive doesn't end here. Continuing on, we had a big run on an outside zone play. Then we did a wide receiver screen. That was a disaster again, which, again, I'm going to show the wide receiver screen because as much as it didn't work, I don't have an issue with the play call, actually. When I saw it back, like you would have thought I'd probably have an issue with all the receiver play screens. I actually didn't have an issue with it. You can see it right here. Look what the defense is doing. So you can see the defense. They're going two high safeties. So at the snap, the Lions decide to run a wide receiver bubble screen. That's kind of the check, I believe, at the line here. There's the run fake. Offensive line's getting to the second level. So they run a bubble screen. Look how far he's got to travel. This is not a bad play call. You throw a wide receiver bubble screen. You hit Tim Patrick. Laporta needs to pick up one block, which he does, and you got a one-on-one with the corner. That's a good matchup on paper. The issue is right here, he doesn't make anybody miss. They tackled well. Again, one thing they did well, they tackled in space. He makes nobody miss. He gets 2 yards on the play. Now, he almost did. He broke the tackle. He just went out of bounds, but he picks up 2 yards on the play. So that's kind of what shut things down there. And then we end up in a 3rd down and 5 situation after getting a little bit of a push. And the Lions actually convert on the 3rd down and 5. Let me show the 3rd down and 5 play. Because this was one of the good conversions we had. So defenses, this is why they muddy it up, because they make it really disgusting and you don't know what you're looking for. But they end up going into, I think, a Tampa 2 look here defensively. And he ends up standing in and finding Laporta for the first down. Make sure I get to the right spot. Right there. This was a nice drive overall. Good pass protection. Solid pass protection in the inside here. You can see the depth. Look, if you guys just look at the depth they're playing with, there's really nowhere else he could throw this football from what we can tell. And also, they're getting a little bit of heat, too. More pressure than I expected. Credit to them. I didn't think they'd get this much pressure. I thought they'd be worse at creating pressure. They were better than I expected. I give them credit for that. But you can see, look how deep they're playing. So where's Goff going to go with the football outside of Laporta here, right? Depth here. Depth here. There's a middle field player who's running with the seam here on the dig. Cornerback's getting held up here. So Goff's only route is to throw this little check down. Again, it's on time. I like that. Pick up a first down on 3rd and 5. So boom, move the chains. This is that's a big reason we scored on this drive, because again, we stayed on top of the chains a little bit better. 3rd and 5 was manageable, but this is what killed us. And luckily it didn't on this drive. This is what killed us. So what did I say coming in, right? I said counter pulls were a disaster. What did the Lions do here on 1st and 10? And they're doing with Gibbs, but it was still a disaster. They run a counter pull, Whitehead off the backside, tackle for loss, -4 on 1st down. So these kind of plays, at least against Tampa Bay in the future, these need to be thrown away. Or they should have did kind of what they did last year, where they showed a counter and then they broke back off it. And I think it's a big reason why the reverse actually worked, because they showed like the counter play and then they broke off it. But this was a killer. We weren't even getting to the front side of these run plays. We were just getting blown up in the backfield. We weren't even having a chance to get these run plays going. So you had that. Lions fall behind the chains. That's the counter run. Then Goff went underneath on a quarters look. They picked up 6 yards, which was a good decision there, you know, because it made it manageable, somewhat manageable. 3rd down and 8. And we'll show the 3rd and 8 play. Here's the 3rd and 8 play. This one was pretty good too, because here they're going to go cover 3. And again, you can see how deep the safety is here. They're going to go 5 drop here. Sorry, they go 5 drop here. 3-man rush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They go 5 underneath. Again, Goff looks this off pretty well. Tyke Smith is racing under 1. That's how a lot of teams teach playing cover 3, is that the flat defender plays under 1. He doesn't just run to the flat. But the way I've been taught is they're supposed to play under 1, which this is their 1 receiver. So his responsibility is to get underneath this guy. So here he's racing under 1, which is why he's not finding St. Brown. Goff doesn't even look over there. You can see him holding middle of the field, holding this defender. And then Goff last second, boom, rips it in the hole. First down on the play. End up moving the chains there. Now it's 1st and goal. And we end up punching in it with David Montgomery. But we got to continue. We got some more good. We got some more bad to look at here. Let's continue on. Let me get to the good and bad. Where are we at? We're at the 3rd quarter. Okay. So we got, okay, 101. Defense makes their stop. They get us off the field. You get to, oh, actually, no, take that back. Defense didn't get to stop. Defense gave up the touchdown. That's right. Defense gave it the touchdown. All right, let me get to the right spot here. Let me get to the right spot here. I got to figure out where we're at. So we had the touchdown. And then we ended up giving up a touchdown, which is not great to score a touchdown and give up a touchdown. Here it is. I think it starts right here. It started with the face mask call, I believe. Yeah, I think it starts right here. So first play, they run a jet sweep. We get called for a face mask. Then they come back. They end up hitting that big shot play to Jalen McMillan, which set him up. Tampa 2 coverage. That was a good play by the offense. Then they go with the end around, then the tight end screen, which is incomplete. And then on 3rd and 4, right here, 3rd and 4. Wow, how did I do that? I mean, that worked out beautiful. I'm going to show 3rd and 4. This is the play I want to showcase. So 3rd and 4, defense goes Tampa 2. It's actually really good coverage. You're going to see Baker holds this ball for a very long time. He's going to hold this for a long time. Lions defense should have got off the field here on this 3rd and 4. But if we go back, I got to find the right spot here. He ends up getting off schedule, and that's what really got us defensively. He gets off schedule. Aiden Hutchinson, I think, it was actually Levi here more, I think, than anything, if I remember right. Hold on, let me get to the right spot, and then I'll throw it back on the screen. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, I agree. No, we gotta. Kyler's gonna be a challenge, bro. They're gonna put up a lot of points. Next week, offense got to be really good. Offense got to be way better next week, no question. We got to be very consistent. So, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Aiden Hutchinson was essentially being blocked by 3 guys on this play, so just kind of keep that in mind. Lions go Tampa 2. They're losing guys to be receivers because Hutchinson's presence. Hutchinson is forcing them to keep a tight end and initially chip. Running back stays in the block, working one-on-one. He's working essentially a 3-on-1 here. It turns into a 2-on-1. So Hutchinson's got a lot to deal with. Hutchinson's trying to contain here. The issue becomes the inside. You're going to see Levi. Watch Levi on this play. Right here, he spins inside. He spins inside. They get to the edge. Hutchinson goes outside. And at the same time, both those guys end up allowing the big pass rush lane. So we talk about that run lane integrity. That's where they got us. And then they came back and ran the quarterback draw, and they scored a touchdown. Kyle Pecco got stuck on his block. They scored a touchdown. That was a good play call. Like I said during the live stream, that would have got me too because I would have had the wrong defense out for that one. Lions then offensively got back on the field, did a counter play that finally worked, which was surprising. So I guess there was one that worked. All right, let me take it back. There was one of these plays that actually worked. Then we went to a check down to Monty, which picked up a first down. Let me get to the right play here. Monty, outside zone. All right, here we go. 14-10. Here we go. Next play. So again, yeah, this is where our run game started to stall out on us. So I know people were talking about the run game, what happened there. It kind of stalled out on us, and I think here's why. So we went back to kind of the outside zone stuff, which we had some success with early. Watch the lead blocks here. Just missing blocks. Straight up. You got to block. You know what I mean? Like, watch. Whitehead comes down late. Here's Parker Hesse. Watch Parker Hesse. I mean, it's a safety, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't miss hey, we can't let that happen. We can't let him get off the block. Fullback, safety gets off him, picks up the first down. There you go. They get the first down the play. They try to go behind Penei Sewell. And honestly, the thing is, too, Penei Sewell here got thrown on the ground. Penei Sewell lost the balance. I don't know if he was 100% in this game, to be honest. Penei Sewell's on the ground, so he doesn't really get up to the second level. But even with that being said, Parker Hesse, Jordan Whitehead gets off the block, slams him down, no gain on the play. So that sets us up to a 2nd down and 10. And like I said, I'm going to show you guys because this drive just ended because we couldn't run the football, really. It ended by just a disaster trying to run the ball. And then I'll show you the 3rd play that I didn't like from Goff. I think it was the 3rd play. I don't know. Maybe 2nd play. This would be the 2nd one. Here we go. 2nd play I didn't like from Goff is coming up next. But 2nd and 10, Lions go toss play. Laporta, watch Laporta. Lead block this time. They had Pesci in there. They're like, oh, let's go Laporta. How about Laporta? What is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, chat, what is that? Bro, hey, sometimes, bro, you got to block. Sometimes you got to block, man. If they're going to ask him to do it, that can't be the result, man. Look at this. You sealed the edge. You sealed the edge. This thing's going to pop. Got to lay a block. Frank Ragnow also kind of lost his block here. Looks reaching a little bit, but at least you could have got to the edge. Can't get to the edge. Laporta's touching air here, man. So that's blowing up. 3rd down and 8. They get 2. Yeah, hopefully Amon-Ra's all right. And then this is the second. So I had said there was 3 plays that I didn't like from Goff. This would be the second play that I didn't like from Goff right here. And we're not showing all the highlights and stuff because I get copyright. I can't show everything. I'll probably get copyrighted anyways, which stinks, but it is, it is what it is. This was the play that I didn't like, and I'm going to show you why I didn't like it. All right, here we go. 3rd down and 7. Or 3rd down and 8. All right, defense goes, I think, cover 6 here. So what you're going to see is you have the deep corner, you have a deep safety, you have your safety here, you have your corner here. So cover 6 look, he's playing underneath, he's passing off, he's playing quarters, he's playing the half field. These guys are playing quarters. So you got 2 deep players, middle of the field. We're going to run a seam route here, which is going to pull this backer. Now, he's going to pass off late. So the Lions run a seam, they run a dig, and they run a whip route inside. So what the Lions create here is if they can pull the backer, they can hit the St. Brown dig route for a first down if they can get him out of the play, which they kind of do. Goff doesn't throw that, though. He comes back underneath to Khalif on the whip route against a hard flat. Look at where this player's at according to the flat. So what did I say? They were buzzing, like Dan Campbell said, and they were playing hard flats. They were getting out to the flat. They're racing out there to squeeze things back inside. So because of that, if you look at the play, Lions' response was press him outside, get back inside. It's like the short little ins they were doing. Let's run a whip route back inside because there's clearance there. So now it's, hey, if this linebacker steps down on St. Brown, we throw the whip route. We clear it out. We throw the whip route. If you watch Goff on this play, the one that I didn't like was right here because I think he had a window to throw this. It was a tight window, but he had a window potentially to rip this here to St. Brown, and he doesn't. The backside linebacker, Servassier Dennis, on this play steps over. You could see that maybe he gets in there, but I think this pass has to be thrown right here. He decides to go check down to the whip route. Cornerback plays it well. I still believe that this absolutely is pass interference. I'm going to take it off the screen for a second. Y'all tell me. This to me is absolutely pass interference. That's why I was frustrated when it happened live because I don't understand how this is not. That being said, though, that happened. No, great. Hey, Barnes did have a good game. I gave Barnes some love at the beginning. Barnes did have a good game. And Barnes was in the action a lot. They got him in the action, some good, some bad. But Barnes showed it, man. The front seven's legit. Front seven legit, man. I'm excited about that. So that was the second play I didn't like from Goff because I thought that one he had a window and he didn't throw it. So that's the second one. You can see the run game really stalled out on us, put us in a tough spot there because their linebackers played with so much depth that it was difficult for us to create windows. All right. And then, okay, let's go back to the offense side of the ball. Now we got a 3rd and 7. We got a 3rd and 7. Is this defensively? I think this is defensively. Hold up. 10:52. Yes, this is defensively here. Defense doing their job, man. They gave us the ball back. They really gave us a chance, man. That's why it's so frustrating because the defense really did everything to give us a chance. So 3rd and 7. Again, Lions go cover 1 defensively. I don't even think they blitzed here. They just played a robber, or did they blitz? Nope, they didn't blitz. Cover 1 defensively, robber on the play. Watch Baker Mayfield. Watch him try to get his first read, and he doesn't like it. Look at this. Doesn't get to his first read here. He has to get away from it. Pressure right in the interior. I think that's Aleem McNeil. Spills it. Hutchinson good contain. Hutchinson gets the sack, gets us off the field. So, again, good defense there. They were clutch. They stopped the run, then got the sack play, and then we were back on offense. And, again, the drive started well. Goff hits Jamison Williams underneath for a hitch route, pick up 5 yards on first down. The next play was the cover 2 play, which was Goff threw it away. They picked up 6 yards on first down. Then he did a throwaway. Then on 3rd and 4, they ran the inside zone, popped it for a big run. And then the next play that I want to showcase is right here. This goes back to the preview video we did, which was whams and trap plays. Those two things, Washington did a little bit, found some success. We actually tried it, and we tried it here towards the end a little bit. So I can, credit some of the effort to try because it worked. First play here, Lions go wham. Watch the tight end. Lions go wham, play, pick up 5 yards. I can appreciate. Now, it looked ugly, but it worked. Get up to the second level, step down your tight end, bam, there's the wham block. They pick up 5 yards. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I can appreciate, them, kind of getting outside the box a little bit, trying something a little bit new. The next run wasn't as good. Next run picked up 2 yards. But the biggest issue with the next run that picked up 2 yards is we were also called for holding. And that was a trap play, and that set us back, and that's when Goff made the third play I didn't like, which was his interception. Obviously the worst play, which was the interception. So here you go. Lions go trap blocking here. Frank Ragnow called for the hold on the play. But even on the backside, St. Brown, I don't love the block here either on Tyke Smith. There's the holding. You can see he loses his block. Potentially out of lane. Don't like the block here. Sewell gets pushed back. Just not great. And, you get 2 yards, but you also get holding here. And then we had Goff's worst play of the game, which was the interception by far. I don't think there's really anything to show on here. I mean, I'm going to show it, but I don't think there's anything I can really show. It's just a bad play. This is a bad play. I think that's all he said after the game, too. There's really nothing else. Really nothing else for this one. 2nd and 16, cover 3. You do get the blown block here, and that's why he goes where he goes. But, again, look where he's looking. You see how aggressive they're out to the flats. So when you take away Laporta on this out route, he's literally just taking it away. They're squeezing it back in. So maybe, again, they try to run a whip route back inside to clear that out, run a whip route. The issue is he doesn't have time to wait for that kind of thing. Turns back, pressures in his face. You get the blown block, and he throws it to middle field. Tim Patrick runs the post corner. He throws it as if he was running a post, and he threw it directly to the safety. That was a bad play. Straight up a bad play. And, that put us down to 1 possession left. Well, 2 possessions, but the last one was really our last real one. Shot to the defense, man. They got us back off the field. Yeah, defense got us back off the field. I'm sorry. I want to make sure I don't miss any plays here. Yeah, they had the little throw behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 12 then. And Aiden Hutchinson. No, this wasn't it. This was Carlton Davis in coverage on McMillan. Lions forced incomplete pass. And then they got back up on offense. And this would have been the final. This is the final real drive. And I got a couple plays I want to show from this one. So let me do that. First one right here. Couple plays here. First one right here. Love Old Reliable. Goff does a nice job. Hits his little swing route on 1st down. Lions pick up 9 yards. 2nd down and 1. Love Khalif Raymond. Got the ball twice. Ran the jet. Hit him on the out route. They went man-to-man coverage. I'm going to remove this for a second and then show it on the screen because, again, I don't want to have that thing play through. But I like this one a lot. Really good ball placement. We were on time. Again, let it fly. Good ball placement on the sideline. That was the second one, just like Patrick. That was really good ball on the sideline. So this drive got off to a good start, man. This guy got off to a really good start. He had that big play. Khalif Raymond got the ball twice on this possession. We had that one, and then we had 429. Yep, here's where our run game fell apart. So y'all asking why we throw it so many times. Well, the run game. And I will show you the next run play. This is why we ran it so much. Here. Y'all want to know? This is why right here. I'm going to pause it, but let me show you. Lions go outside zone. There's a double team. Backside, Penei Sewell, he's being asked to reach block a long way. Doesn't really get in front of that block, so we got to get outside of it. Here's the issue with Zeitler. He's working across the formation. He's got to get laterally. He gives up his gap. Now it's cutbacks time. Sewell also doesn't get the reach block. The double team is not great here, but it's enough. But both Zeitler doesn't get across in time. Penei Sewell gives up the block. You get nowhere on the play. That's your first run. So that's a big reason that, we had to kind of live it. Plus, again, tendency was we're going to throw the ball on 1st down. Not tendency, but that was the game plan to throw the ball on 1st down because, again, just to kind of minimize all those pressure looks. If we throw it on 1st down, we can kind of minimize those a little bit. Then here on 2nd down and 9, the Lions ran a sweep. And again, missing blocks. Lions sweep it. Graham Glasgow, Frank Ragnow pull. You'll see it here. Frank Ragnow gets blown up on the play. However, Jahmyr Gibbs got to go. Like, I'm watching it. Jahmyr Gibbs got to get upfield, dude. We're sweeping on the play. He's he's bouncing right here. He's got to get upfield right now because J-Mos lays this block, which isn't a good block. But he does hit the block. And if he gets his crease upfield a lot faster, we got a shot. Frank Ragnow gets pushed back. Gibbs dances around the block. Gets up the field really late here. Frank actually finishes the block, but he gets up the field late, and that allows Servassier Dennis to then get into play. No gain on the play. So that's why we stopped running the ball. Because now back-to-back runs after 2 good plays, now you're sitting in 3rd and 9. Positive is we were bailed out. Amon-Ra St. Brown, out route, 3rd down and 9, put it on the sideline. I thought this was maybe my favorite throw of the game from Goff, outside of the J-Mo one earlier. I loved this one on 3rd down and 9. This throw was really nice. Hand to the face. I really like that one. That was probably my favorite one. And then we'll just keep going through because this drive was just such a disaster to end. I mean, my goodness. And we were passing the ball so well in this final drive. Oh, yeah, Deuce would be going crazy. I was like, Gibbs, what are you doing, bro? He said, it's like, Gibbs, go, dude. Hey, you got to go. You got to go, man. So this next play, cover 4. Again, I like this decision. Cover 4, they get pressure. Graham Glasgow, you can already see he's lost his block. Goff is doing the play fake. Graham Glasgow's already lost the block in the interior. So there's the pressure. They're not blitzing. Goff slides out of it, finds Khalif Raymond, 7 yards. I don't dislike what he's doing here, man. I mean, like, again, we were passing the ball well. What happens? Why is this drive shut down? Chat, what are we doing? Look at this. You're gonna be mind blown when you see this next play. You're gonna be mind blown. Watch this. Watch this. Watch Jameson Williams and St. Brown. Now, maybe J-Mo was supposed to get up to the second level and Saint was supposed to hit this block, but watch these two guys. Chat, we have 3 guys blocking 1. We have 3 guys blocking 1. That's just bad assignments, bro. That's bad assignments. This is the thing, bro. Like, all the schemes and stuff we could talk about, you have an assignment to hit somebody. Nobody hits him. Their DBs are tackling well. They're playing with fire. But somebody's got to block my guy here. Somebody's got to do something, chat. What is this? If you're Gibbs, where do you go? You got the inside. You got the outside. It's like, where he has to get all the way out here. That's the option, is you have to run all the way out here, and somehow you got to make this guy miss. Good contain, and you lose like 5 yards. So 2nd and 2, great play on first down, great pass, you have the blitz, and then that's what happens. Now you're backed up. And I'm watching that live, and I'm like, yo, what's happening? I don't understand why our run game's not working. All right, the answer was pretty clear, but we get bailed out of it again. Chat, we get bailed out of it again, because on 3rd and 7, we go underneath, and we find Sam Laporta, a yard short of the first down. And we end up going for it then on 4th down and 1 and picking up the first down. Lions go to their old reliable sweep to Jahmyr Gibbs. Nice play there, picks up the first down. I'll get past that one because we've seen that. I don't want to show all these plays just because I won't have I can't show all of the plays. But yeah, let's stay with it. Next play. Now this is an interesting one, but again, I think this is also a result of what was happening. We cannot run the football. We can't run the football. Nobody's blocking anybody. Our last 4 runs, disaster. So now you get to the 13, you can't run the football. And defensively, they're playing too deep. Here's the issue. So I think Tampa Bay did a good job. They played a lot of quarters every time we got down here. This time, what do? Cover 3. Buzzes down. They race into the flat. Goff swings it out there. If this is cover 4, this works. It's cover 3, it doesn't. And again, just like a run play, you lose 5 yards. You're behind the chains again. So now we're behind the chains. We come back. We hit Jameson Williams on an out route. Which makes it 3rd down and somewhat manageable. It's 3rd down and 9. And then just to kind of put a bow on it, chat, watch this play. Tell me who we're blocking. 3rd down and 9. 3rd down and 9. Line's going to run a running back screen. I don't hate it, right? Their defense, they're playing this cover 3, but they're playing with a lot of depth. They're also playing outside. So it's like, hey, if we push him outside and then we bring him back in and we get like a mid-screen going, we could potentially get upfield. All right, watch who they're blocking here. Watch Frank Ragnow and watch Graham Glasgow. You see Servassier Dennis off the backside? Look, Kevin Zeitler. Nobody blocks him. They both block the same guy. If Frank just turns and hits this pops. If Zeitler gets out there, which he's not going to, this pops. Greg Gaines gets over here. He disrupts the play. And then look, everybody's blocking the same guy. Zeitler's chasing nobody. Nobody blocks Dennis. 2 guys blocking 1. And even though Gibbs makes the first guy miss, if he would have turned around, we got a chance. He doesn't. They block the same guy. Frank blocks nobody, and we gain a yard. We were just not sound at all blocking. We were just not sound at all. Couldn't get any positives. And now we're on to 4th down. And at 4th down, make sure I got this right here. We go into, what was this? Was this, I don't remember what this one was. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember. I can't really. Oh, this is cover 3 again? Okay, this is cover 3 again. Yeah, same kind of look. We'll show it. Even though it's hard to see it, we'll show it. Here we go. I'm going to try to pause it because it's weird. So cover 3. Again, we need 9 yards. As Dan was saying, we kept trying to kind of play underneath and knife up field. I think that Jahmyr Gibbs play is exactly what he's talking about. If we run a screen, they're trying to play out to the flats. Let's knife up field. We can't knife up field if nobody blocks. But here on a 4th down and 8. So Goff starts middle of the field, of course. Eyes there. Then comes back to J-Mo. J-Mo's like running. I think he's running like a sail route. He's trying to get to the sticks here because he has to get to the sticks and get underneath the flat. Tyke Smith carries it, so it doesn't look like he actually opens up there. So Goff gets away from that. Steps up in the pocket. Next option, St. Brown, who actually gets to the sticks. The issue with St. Brown here is that he is completely covered. So as Goff comes back, steps up in the pocket right here, feels the pressure. Wants to throw St. Brown. Doesn't open up. You're going to see the guy's like on his back, so he doesn't throw that. So then he comes back and hits Jahmyr Gibbs. And when he hits Jahmyr Gibbs, it's late. He turns around, gets 6 yards. The issue I have right there, obviously, the best thing Goff could have done is throw that sooner to Jahmyr Gibbs. But when you're in a progression-based offense and you're going 1, 2, 3, here to here, let me go JMO first. It doesn't open up. Okay, let me get back to 2. St. Brown's going to sit down, and that's not open. The only thing that we could have really done here, I think, to make this really work is if when Goff comes off that first read and he turns, if he's like ready to throw right now. But you can see he tries to slide up in protection here. If he's in a spot to throw it right away, we might have a chance because then he can hit Gibbs a lot earlier to try to catch a run. But he slides up and hitches, and that's what causes everything to kind of just be a little bit late. And then obviously you're a little bit late on the play. So I won't show the last drive. Last drive was just a disaster. Defense, again, did their job. Barnes had the pass breakup. Lions had a run stop. And then the last drive, like we kind of worked it downfield, but the last play was like a dig route, it was like a pick play. And, we didn't even get it there. So, again, man, I think for me, as I always say, what helps me is rewatching this stuff because it helps me kind of understand what actually went wrong. And sometimes Tampa Bay made some awesome plays. Credit to them. They made some awesome plays. Defense, really good. Some things we're going to have to expect. We're going to have to expect the blitzing and stuff like that. I thought Goff actually was in a really good rhythm, especially through the first half. We just missed some poor block assignments. I think he had 3 throws that I didn't like. Out route that he missed on 2nd and 10. He missed the out route. The interception was a nightmare, which actually really hurt us because the 3 points there could have been the difference in the game. And then, what was the other one? I had another one. I don't remember what the other one was. There was 3 of them. I don't remember. We just showed it. I don't remember what it was. So there's 3 plays I really didn't like from Goff. Outside of that, though, there's a lot of plays I didn't show that I actually did like from Goff in the first half. I did think he was in a much better rhythm. I thought he used his eyes a lot better than the way that he used his eyes week 1, where he was very stubborn with his eyes. This game, he was not that way. He was much more open with looking around and kind of trusting and anticipating windows. And you had to do that against this defense, and he came in prepared for that. Obviously, we had this big shot play to JMO, which was beautiful to get things started. So I did appreciate the way that he played a lot more this week than I did last week. I think from initial watch, I'll have to see what it looks like on the All-22. And I'm still very pleased with our defense. Like, our defense played more than well enough to win this football game again. We got to be better on offense. If we literally do the bare minimum and just don't give up 3 points, we win this football game by playing a safe way. You take the points. We don't have to do anything special in this game. We win this game at bare minimum by just taking the safe play. We had 460 yards of offense and scored 16 points. That tells you all you need to know, man. 460 yards. They had 216. It was like 460, like 220 or something. And we lost. We averaged a yard more per play. They had absolutely no run game. 40 carries for 17 yards between their running backs, and the Lions scored 16 points. Also, they were 2 of 10 on 3rd down. We were 7 of 17 on 3rd down. We were better on 3rd down by far. And this is what I was talking about Goff seemingly being in a rhythm. After I showed you guys that cover 2 shot, he started this game to me in a really nice rhythm. It's just we didn't cap off any of these drives, and then he had a really bad mistake that really cost us because if we would have scored a touchdown early, that big interception doesn't beat us. It's just it beats us when you don't do the little things right. You leave points on the board. You throw an interception. You miss blocks. You miss assignments. You fall behind the chains. You don't do the little things right. If you score a touchdown on any of these, the game's completely different. You just don't. You left it all out there. And as good as he came out and as much as he was in a flow, you couldn't tell as a fan. I couldn't tell. I had to rewatch it to see it, that he was actually in a pretty good flow because we did not cap off anything. He was in a good flow. He's making good reads. He was doing a good job there. We just continue to stall out for missed blocks, poor screens, all over the place. And we just walk through those. So there's that. Unfortunate, but the positive is, man, it's 17-game season. We're not going to go 17-0. It's not by far better. It's much better. No, it's versus 2 of 10. Versus 2 of 10. 7 of 17 versus 2 of 10. So 20% versus, 40% maybe? I mean, we basically doubled them up in that case, too. Let me see. 7 of 17 is 41% versus 20%. That's 2 times as good. You know what I mean? So for me, man, it's like, hey, you're not going to win every game. I'd rather lose a game like this where I'm saying, what the heck are we doing? Versus, oh my goodness, we're going to get cooked. Like, we don't have answers for this. They did a lot of good things. I'm not discrediting Tampa. It's not like we did lose the game. But they also did things to win the game. Like, in credit to them. They have too many playmakers on defense. They did things to win this game. That being said, though, I didn't walk away like, oh, we can't handle this, or how are we going to deal with this next week? I wish our pass pro was better. Our run blocking has to be better. We have to be more assignment sound. That being said, though, I still walked away feeling like, man, we just gave them this. We just absolutely gave them this thing, man. And so that's the way you want to lose, I think. I think that's the way you want to lose to a good football team in a way that you're still, 463 versus 216 yards. It's insane. It's insane, but that's the way to lose if you ask me, man, because you should have won the football game. So I'm not mad at how we played. I'm just mad that we lost. If that makes sense. I'm mad at how we finished. We didn't finish anything. Maybe we didn't finish any drives. So we lost that game. Credit to them, man. Like I said, tip the cap to them. They did their job. They did good things, and they earned it. They earned it. It was both. They earned it. We lost it. You know what I mean? We could have won this game. We should have won this game. But now we're on to Arizona, and good opportunity to kind of get right before Arizona, man, because you know that you need it. You play two really good, tough teams back to back. You know that you have to go get with this one. You're playing in Arizona, a place where you can be very successful. I think the way that Goff was throwing the football in this one actually gives me a lot more optimism about how we're going to play versus Arizona versus the way that he played in LA. Like if we were coming off the way he played in LA again, I'd be a little bit more concerned. I actually really liked how he was aggressively letting the ball go against this team, and he was willing to do those things and willing to throw with anticipation for a game against Arizona where I don't trust their pass rush nearly as much or their secondary nearly as much. I'm way more optimistic in good weather that it's going to pan out a little bit better for us offensively, but it needs to. So, yeah, there you go. Lions are 1-1. I think we'll leave it there. I think I hit on everything. Let me make sure I don't have any other notes here. I don't think so. We heard the St. Brown thing. Broken plays on defense. Fake screen was the big play they had. Lions were good in man. Wingo had a win. Yeah, I think we hit on pretty much everything. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all joining, man. This was good for me. This is how I kind of relax on games like this. Hopefully it helped you. If not, you left Ford Field so disappointed Bucs stole this game. Absolutely. They did. No, they did. But this helped me for sure because, it's always better than you think. I didn't know that there was any good when I, kind of went off of that. I was struggling to find good, but watching it back, I was like, okay, there's a lot more positives in here. A lot of it's the defense. Which is nice. It really is nice to talk about that because they've invested there, and it's about time. Like, if you ask me what I have more confidence in is if our defense was a disaster in week 1 and week 2, or our offense was a disaster in week 1 and week 2, it'd be, hey, the offense is going to get this thing going. The defense being a disaster in week 1 and week 2 would be a little concerning because we really haven't seen it pick up, not to that level. But the offense having some hiccups, I trust that to get fixed with all of the returning players and all the vets that we have versus the defense, which has actually played really well. So they're ready to go. The defense is ready to go. They're ready to win football games. And, like last week, they kept us alive. They kept us in it. All right, man. I think we're good today. Fox is a dog. Not the best quarterback, but he's a dog. Shout to Fox. Hey, Baki doing work. We see y'all. Go drink some prune juice and go to bed. Hey, yo. Cards have one good game, and now it's an auto loss. Yeah, hey, shout out to the Cards, man, bro. They cooked them. I didn't think that would happen. Rams got a ton of injuries they're dealing with. I didn't think that would happen, though, man. Cards are good this year, man. I think Cards are good, but we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right against them. You know how it is, man. It's week by week. It's matchup league, man. But, yeah, I think I'll let it there. DJ Reader's impact was felt. That was cool. Don't think I missed anything. Yeah, I think we showed everything, man. If you're just joining, rewatch, pull back. We go through some clips from this game. But, yeah, man. Fire, man. This was a good show. We might do more of these going forward, especially for the 1 p.m. starts. I don't know. Is next week at 4? Next week might be at 4. I'm going to head out. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys this week with, some sort of all 22 or something. But at the very least, this kind of gives me a head start on everything because I've already seen the game now. And we can move forward with this. Thank goodness. Thank you, Prop, for watching. Enjoy Sunday Night Football. Texans, help us feel a little bit better about tonight. And, yeah. We're on to the next week. Let's just move on from that. I kind of just want to move on from this one. This was such a mess. I kind of just want to move on. Go right to Arizona. This is a mess, man. Hey, we out, man. Appreciate y'all joining. I'll see you guys Monday. Probably Monday, but next week. We out. Fake 20 on our own 20 is crazy. That is crazy. And we didn't even score on that drive. Talk about leaving things out there. We didn't even score on that drive. Wait. Real quick. How did that drive end? Did we show it? I don't remember if we showed it or not. The fact that we didn't score on that drive is a disaster. Hold up. All right, I'm pretty sure we showed it. I'm gonna leave it there. All right, we out, man.